Durag Wisdom here, folks, and welcome to Y2K 18.03.23. 228 days remaining until the midterm elections, and let's all pray to the goddess that this creep doesn't blow up the planet before he gets hurt in the midterms. The March for Our Lives means more than you think. This weekend, millions will participate in a March for Our Lives all over this world in the wake of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School St. Valentine's Ash Wednesday massacre. I never doubted the resolve or dedication of the younger generations. I believed that all they needed was to be pushed too far. And when they must live daily with the threat of gun violence in their schools, enough is enough. I mean, when we were kids, we used to hide under the desks for threat of a nuclear war coming. Hasn't stopped. The suffering has not stopped. One generation to the next has to put up with our savage, naked ape bullshit. I believe that these kids, these young people, have been pushed too far. And they don't realize yet the full worldwide importance of this march. And what I mean is, not only are these young people standing up to the NRA, but they're also standing against, whether they know it or not, a president who is a role model for violence and the worst in all our nations. He's a kind of anti-Abraham Lincoln president. What a nightmare. Whether they know it or not, these young people who are going to be marching will not only be marching to save our lives, but also to save our entire planet. Thuggery and the implementation of it, war and the hard-on for it, is all that defines Traitor Trump and his administration. He is bound and determined to stay in power and distract us all through war. Traitor Trump's intention is clear with his appointment of John Warmonger Bolton to be his top security advisor, who's a veteran of the National Guard and a lover of combat that he has never seen. The only thing that the GOP and its religious extremist totalitarians believe is important is unborn life. If you're a fetus, you're in like Flint, babies. I mean, pre-babies. Once you are born, however, you become nothing in their vile eyes. And if you look at all their policies, what they've been doing, you can see that. Unless you're sleeping or in a coma, or brainwashed, or had a lobotomy, courtesy of Bitch McDumbbell and his lackey, Paul Ryan. Traitor Trump is in the process of surrounding himself with dangerous extremists. And Bolton could prove to be the final cog in Trump's plan for our nuclear annihilation. If you haven't already done so, please check out these nuclear war dramas, these works of art. And the reason I call them works of art is because when you view them, they compel you, they motivate you to do something for the betterment of our society. And these are not typical disaster movies. Threads, there's Threads. I don't know if that's in focus, but this is Threads. This just came out. It's a Severin Films put it out. They restored the picture, the sound, the subtitles are available. This is an up-in-your-face, close and personal view of what nuclear war can be like, and you don't want to have a nuclear war. You should strap this creep Trump and Bolton to a chair and make them watch this film over and over and over and over again until they learn to put away their stupid hate and their weapons Stand Up for Peace. And the other film is Testament. Now, Testament was directed by Lynn Littman and written by John Sackett Young. Threads was directed by Mick Jackson and written by Barry Hines. This film, Testament, once again, this is an American-made film. It's an in-your-face view of the aftermath of nuclear war. If you've never seen this film, it's heartbreaking. And I don't want to say too much about it, but once again, when you see this film, it's something you will never ever forget. It's funny that both of these movies start with the letter T. This does have some special features on it. It's available from Paramount Home Video, and this one, of course, from Severin Films. Very important. You know, when movies, books, paintings aspire to something more, they become art. From day one, Traitor Trump has made it clear that he is a Nazi-loving hate monger in love with violence. Every day that he is in power, the threat to our lives grows even greater. Around Y2K 18.04.07, John Bolton will become part of Traitor Trump team of psychopaths. It is up to us to push back against this agenda with all the fury we can muster. And this weekend's march, this March for Our Lives, the Youth March for Our Lives this weekend, is on par with the massive Women's March of over a year ago. And both must continue with the entire of our nation in protest until this Trump threat to our nation, this Trump threat to our planet, this Trump threat to our lives, and more importantly, this Trump threat to the lives of our children is impeached, is indicted, and is incarcerated along with his enablers. There is more at stake in the March for Our Lives this weekend than we know. Keep watching the skies.